I should have gone to college. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And you guys are gonna laugh also because it's literally only like a paragraph, but it's kind of tricky. But I don't know. I had to do this whole spiel right now because I don't know what else is in this book. Like it might come up again, and I would like to have a fucking statement. So they're in the little toy train, going to see the three bears and Goldilocks. To see if the Goldilocks bears know anything about, they should know about polar bears because they're like related. And maybe Goldilocks three bears will know how to rescue Joe from the polar bears. Which they only know about the polar bears, they don't know about the abominable snowman. Real ones know I said abominable. At the next station, which was called Gollywog Station, 3 gollywogs got into their carriage and stared at them very hard. One was so like Bessie's own golly at home that she couldn't help but stare back. The second station was called Crosspatch Station, and standing on the platform were 3 of the crossest-looking old women that the girls had ever seen. One of them got into their carriage, and the 3 gollywogs at once got out and climbed up to the next one. They know. "Move up," said the Crosspatch angrily to Moonface. I hope Crosspatch isn't a slur. I didn't even think that far ahead. The 3 gollywogs at once got out and climbed into the next one. "Move up," said the Crosspatch angrily to Moonface. He moved up. Oh my god, oh, okay. The Crosspatch was an uncomfortable person to travel with. She grumbled all the time, and her basket, which was full of prickly rose sprays, kept bumping into poor Fanny. Oh my god, okay. Hopefully that's not a slur. Old women, am I right? They can be kind of bitchy. Here we are, sang out Moonface when they got to the next station, and the 3 of them got out gladly, leaving the Crosspatch grumbling all to herself. You know what? I may have... okay, I still needed to have that statement, but I was reading ahead. This threw me off. That threw off my whole speech. I was skimming, and I thought that section was about the gollywogs. And I was like, oh my god, the racism. It's happening. It's go time. But it was actually about the old women. Oh. I skipped that part. But, it could come up later. Like, sometimes gollywogs were, like, normal in stories. Like, they were, like, totally fine. They were just, like, little dolls or caricatures. But, it's still racist, but it wasn't, like, not, like, the extreme weaponized racism of the other versions. Yeah, British. Here we are, sang out Moonface when they got to the next station, and the 3 of them got out gladly, leaving the Crosspatch grumbling away all to herself. This station was called Bear Station, and there were a great many teddy bears about. Some brown, some pink, some blue, and some white. When they wanted to talk to one another, they kept pressing themselves in the middle where their growl was. And then they could talk quite well. Fanny wanted to giggle when she saw them doing this. It looked very funny. Please, could you tell me the way to the Three Bears' house? Moonface asked a blue teddy bear politely. The bear pressed himself in the middle and answered in a nice growly voice. Up the lane and down the lane and around the lane. Thank you, said Moonface. That sounds a bit funny to me, said Bessie doubtfully. Not at all, said Moonface, leading them up a little honeysuckle lane. Here we are, going up a lane. And now you see it goes downhill, so we're going down. And presently we will turn a corner, and we'll go around the lane. He was right. They went up, and then down, and then around. And there in front of them, tucked into a woody corner, was the dearest, prettiest little house the girls had ever seen. It was covered with pink roses from top to bottom, and its tiny windows winked in the moonlight, as if they had eyes. Moonface knocked at the door. A sleepy voice cried, "Come in." Moonface opened the door and they all went in. There was a table in front of them, and on it were 3 steaming bowls of porridge, and round it were 3 chairs, 1 big, 1 middle size, and 1 tiny. It's the house of the 3 bears, all right, whispered Bessie excitedly. It was just like seeing a fairy tale come true. We're here, said the voice from another room. Moonface went in with Bessie and Fanny. The other room was a small bedroom with a big bed in it and a middle-sized bed and a tiny cot. In the big bed lay a large brown bear. In the middle-sized one was a fat mother bear. Damn, dude, you didn't have to do her like that. Thought she was the middle-sized one. In the big bed lay a large brown bear, in the middle-sized one was a fat mother bear, and in the cot was the most adorable baby bear with the bluest eyes the girls had ever seen. Where's Goldilocks? Asked Moonface. Gone shopping, said the father bear. Where does she sleep when she's here? Bessie said, looking around. And does she always live with you now? And does she always live with you now? Always, said the father bear, putting his big nightcap straight. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the picture. For shame. Here they are approaching the house of the 3 bears. Well, hello, handsome. Okay. I was talking to myself, not you. Always, said the father bear, putting his big nightcap straight. She looks after us very well. There's a market on tonight in the Enchanted Wood, and she's gone to see if she can buy some porridge for cheap. As for where she sleeps, oh my goodness. As for where she sleeps, well, she just chooses any of our beds, you know, and we cuddle up together then. Father bear. My innocence is dead. She's our unicorn, you see. I thought that was so cute. This is cute. This is cute. I'm innocent. This is cute. Not racist and very cute, okay? As for where she sleeps, well, she just chooses any of our beds, and we cuddle up together then. But she likes the baby bear's bed best because it's so soft and warm. She did in the story, said Fanny. What story? Asked the mother bear. Well, the story of the 3 bears, said Fanny. Never heard of it, said all 3 bears together. Which really seemed rather extraordinary to Bessie and Fanny. Lonely XO, thank you for 44 months. Antifa C, thank you for 39 months, 20 minutes ago. Never heard of that story, said all 3 bears all together, which really seemed rather extraordinary to Bessie and Fanny. They didn't like to ask any more questions after that. Here's Goldilocks now, said the mother bear. The sound of a little high voice could be heard coming nearer and nearer. The baby bear sprang out of his cot and ran to the door in delight. A pretty little girl with long curling golden hair picked him up and hugged him. Hello, darling, she said. Have you been a good bear? Then she saw Bessie, Fanny, and Moonface and stared at them in surprise. Who are you? She said. Moonface explained about Joe and how he had gone to the land of ice and snow, where the big white bears lived. Oh, they do know about the magic snowman. Okay, shit. I'm afraid the magic snowman is going to make him a prisoner there, said Moonface. And he'll have to live with the white bears. Could you get your 3 bears to come with us and ask the white bears to let Joe go free, Goldilocks? But I don't know the way, said Goldilocks. We do, said the father bear suddenly. The white bears are cousins of ours. Moonface, if you could help us with a bit of magic, we can visit the land of ice and snow in a few minutes. Good gracious, said Bessie, most astonished. But it's ever so far away, right at the top of the faraway tree. That doesn't matter, said the father bear. He took down a large jar from the mantelpiece and filled it with water. He put it into a yellow powder and stirred it with a magpie's black and white feather. Moonface put his hands into the water and began to sing a string of such strange words that Bessie and Fanny felt quite trembly. Oh my God, they're doing Satanism. The water bubbled, and it rose to the top of the jar. Witchcraft. It bubbled and rose to the top of the jar. It overflowed and ran on the floor. It turned to ice beneath their feet. A cold wind filled the little house, and everyone shivered. Then Bessie looked out of the window, and what she saw there filled her with such amazement that she couldn't say a word, but just pointed. Fanny looked too. And whatever do you think? Outside lay nothing but ice and snow. They were in the same land as Joe. Though how this had happened, neither Bessie nor Fanny could make out. We're there, said Moonface, taking his hands out of the jar and drying them on his red handkerchief. Can you lend us any coats, bears? We shall be cold here. The mother bear handed them thick coats out of a cupboard, and they put them on. I hope they brought provisions. The bears already had thick fur and did not need anything extra. Now to go and find Joe, said Moonface. Come on, bears, you've got to help. You've got to help. Chapter 10. The Battle of the Bears.